How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we have some big news to talk about. We have some big events happening over the next few days, which I've hit on a couple times, but I'm going to provide a little bit more information on that. And then also talking about what's happening in the market and what I'm thinking about the market right now, because I am getting close to making a change in what I'm doing. If you don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I really do appreciate that. There's a link down there. Also, I know a lot of people are taking their crypto off exchanges. I just bought a treasure to be able to do that. I'm going to set that up soon. And we have to realize, though, we still need to buy crypto somewhere. And BlockFi is running a new promotion. I know some people are cautious about signing up with a new broker, or they're cautious about BlockFi, but the fact is they are working with FTX now, and they have a new promotion where if you buy or sell $100,000 in total crypto, you get a payout of $1,000 in Bitcoin. You can also do the normal promotion where you get deposit bonuses depending on how much you just deposit. You can check out both links underneath the video. I'll leave one to the new promotion. It ends with 1,000, so just look for that. And then let's get back to the content here. Bitcoin unfortunately ended the week underneath the 200-week moving average, which was about 22,700. It would have been nice to see that. However, we are falling down now for 6 weeks in a row below this number. Typically a very good time to be buying, and we've really only stayed below it for about 2 to 3 weeks in the past. So fact is, this has been a really good time to be buying. We can also see some big events this week that could push us above or significantly below the 200-week. We have 40% of the NASDAQ reporting earnings over a 3-day period. We have Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, Qualcomm, T-Mobile, Intel. So many big companies announcing earnings. So at the same time that we're also getting the Fed rate decision on Wednesday, there's about an 80% chance that we'll have a 75 basis point increase and about a 20% chance that we get a 100 basis point increase. Now, this they have to be very careful about because they don't want to go too heavy because it will just crush the economy. It will make it very hard, very difficult for them to repay debts. So it's this soft landing that they are trying to go for. What's going to be really important to watch with this is the commentary after the Fed rate decision. Not just what they do, because for the most part we think 75 basis points, but are they going to start talking about maybe easing up on increasing rates? Maybe another 50 basis point increase and then maybe just less after that? Or maybe not even a 50 point basis increase. It's going to be really fascinating to watch. A lot of people think we're going to start lowering how much we're increasing rates, and then actually flip towards the end of the year or next year. So we're going to have to watch what Jerome Powell says about that. And then we have another big thing happening, which is the GDP forecast, or the GDP numbers coming out on Thursday. So Goldman Sachs just slashed their forecast to just 0.7%, down from 1.9% increase. Now, Wells Fargo say that they expect more aggressive Fed policy to step up the timeline for a moderate recession starting soon and lasting a year. Some people are expecting us just to be in recession for 2 quarters. That is the definition of a recession. So we're going to have to watch what happens Thursday. I think most of us assume we're already in recession, but providing some clarity for that, just kind of putting the nail in the coffin, might be what happens on Thursday. Now, with all this in mind, the market can go either way. At this point, the fact is we don't know what's going to happen moving forward, but we have been given some good prices on crypto. For example, 40% of all 19 million Bitcoins are at a loss. Historically, blue is a great accumulation zone. How long blue, though? Well, it could be 1 month, like in COVID. It could be 2 months, like in 2011. It could be 6 months, like 2018, 2019. It could be 9 months, like 2014, 2015. Time will tell. Currently at 3 blue dots. You can see on the graph, this is historically a good time to be buying. I know that we're not at 10,000 or 5,000 like some people expected, but the fact is we may never get there. And you can see we were lied to recently. Now, I don't think this was on purpose. They've had this happen before, but the Digital Asset Fund Flows report just came out for this week, and you can see a large inflow last week. Now, last week when I covered it, we had just a small inflow. Now, though, they did have some inflows that were kind of postponed. Reporting of trades from the prior week saw inflows corrected from 12 million to 343 million, marking the largest single week of inflows since November 2021. So whenever we have a kind of a big pump in the market or a big dump in the market, typically we see these numbers also follow that trend. And it was odd to me that we had seen Bitcoin and crypto kind of bottom and then push up to about 23,000 or 22,000, whatever it was last week, and we hadn't seen inflows. So this week we saw about 19 million flowing into Bitcoin, 8 million flowing into Ethereum, some coming on multi-asset, a little bit going into Solana and short Bitcoin and Cardano. But last week we saw a significant amount of Bitcoin being gobbled up. So we had Bitcoin inflows totaling 16 million last week, but with the prior week seeing inflows corrected to 206 million, the largest single week inflows since May 2022. Short Bitcoin also saw inflows totaling about 0.6 million. And then Ethereum saw inflows totaling 8 million, while the corrected prior week data shows inflows totaling 120 million. This is the largest week of inflows since June 2021. And this is implying a turning point in sentiment after a recent 11-week run of outflows. And they talk about possibly sentiment changing with the merge coming up, which is slated for September, I believe. You can see this is the largest single week of inflows since November 2021. So I think that is bullish, seeing large investors kind of turning and changing their mind on what is happening in cryptocurrency. Now, I personally am still buying. I've been buying consistently and rigorously and rigidly over the past 6 months. I've just been dollar cost averaging. I think this is a great time to be buying, and I'm close to the next amount of Bitcoin that I want. I know it's kind of arbitrary, but I always want to be buying more Bitcoin unless we're in some kind of pump and I'm just taking some profits. But I'm getting awfully close to wanting to buy some altcoins. And that's not because they've fallen down so much, but that's because I really do think the worst is behind us. The fact is we've been below the 200 week for a long time. I think we still could see sell-offs in some of these altcoins, which is why I haven't necessarily pulled the trigger yet. But with this week behind us, I think there's going to be a lot less volatility. There's so many big things happening between a lot of big companies announcing earnings, which could move the NASDAQ, which obviously moves cryptocurrency, to the Fed increasing rates and probably giving guidance moving forward, probably pulling off one of the last band-aids there. And then also just the Fed or just the GDP numbers coming out. I think that will really either pump up the market or drop it down pretty drastically. Now, I don't want to be buying into a pump, so I may just start dollar cost averaging some of these altcoins again as well, but time will tell. A lot of these are still down significantly from their highs and down significantly from where they probably should be in a normal market. There's so much uncertainty still with Ukraine and with Russia, with inflation, but hopefully a lot of this will be behind us in a year or two down the road. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Like I said, I still haven't pulled the trigger on some of these altcoins. I would like to accumulate some of the top altcoins here, probably in the top 10, maybe top 14, because I want Polygon as well. But let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. We do have some news, I should say, too, from Voyager and FTX. Some clients will possibly get their digital assets back early. Basically, FTX is offering Voyager a way out, saying that they'll pay $15 million for their trademarks and other intellectual property. They'll also write off their $75 million loan and claim against Voyager Digital. And what they'll do is they'll actually give some of the assets that Voyager clients have back to them if they sign up for FTX, and they'll give them some of those assets early because some of the bankruptcy proceedings can take a long time and would be quite tedious to wait through, especially because it would be so illiquid in a very volatile market. So let me know if you like this kind of solution, or if you don't want to sign up for FTX for some reason. Let me know in the comments section below. Again, you can check out BlockFi, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.